Maybe the fourth time's the charm. Who knows? I think that Caitlin Clark has the potential to become one of the biggest stars the WNBA has ever seen, right? And I hope she's able to do that despite the efforts of people in the media to tear her down. And honestly, I've not been paying like cool, deep, straight up, like, I'm going to focus on this every day of my life, attention to it, but it seems like all the negativity is coming primarily from women. And that kind of bothers me. That kind of bothers me a lot because it's like, here is this woman who has done, it's not like she just popped up out of nowhere. Like, she's been consistently a good basketball player her entire college career, right? And when you break as many records as she has, yeah, that's gonna come with a fair bit of hype. But like, some of the hate that I've heard come from like Sonny Hostin, that woman is, that's a special case. But also women like Jemele Hill, whose opinion on sport, who like her knowledge of sports, I really respect, right? But her take on this wasn't, no. And then Diane Taurasi saying things in interviews about, she was used to playing with girls, now she's gonna come play with women. Like, yeah, that's a fact of, that's what happens with sports. Like, when you transition, the games change a little bit, but like, that's just sounded so mean spirited that it almost sounds like she has a hit out on her. Like, she's a star athlete, she's a star collegiate athlete. That's kind of what happens when you're a star collegiate athlete. Like, I wonder if Diana's low key salty that she broke her record. I don't think it's that petty, but like, I don't think it's that petty, to be absolutely honest, but it makes you wonder. It's like, y'all, I'm not saying that they should all pretend to be buddy buddy with her and treat her with kid gloves and like not warn her that, hey, this is a whole different game. I'm sure she's aware of that. It just seems like some of this is just so mean spirited. Almost like people want her to, or are hoping that she fails, right? And to insinuate also, there's also been an argument that men are only paying attention to the WNBA because we think Caitlyn is hot, like we're attracted to her or something, which completely belittles the fact of how good of a basketball player she is. That in order to sort of, I guess, cut her down to size or humble her, you completely diminish all her achievements by saying, oh, people only care about you because you're pretty. Which is so far from the truth, because the woman is a fucking excellent basketball player. I think I've said that like 3 or 4 times already, but like, the records show it. She's an excellent basketball player, right? Men, we like to, yes, we like to look at attractive women. We do. It's just a thing that happens. Even gay men like looking at titties, okay? It's just a thing that happens. But like, you know what else we like watching? We like watching athletes at the top of their game do their thing, right? And so when we see this chick balling out, because believe it or not, a lot of us actually watch y'all in college. Like, we watch women's NCAA basketball, and it's not because we're trying to pick out who our next ex-wife is gonna be. It's because some of y'all are good as fuck. Some of y'all are good as fuck. Okay? When we watch Sports Center and we see highlights and we see y'all in them highlights, that's a big deal, right? Because like, we're used to seeing the dudes do fancy shit. Like, we expect it at this point. But like, when y'all do fancy shit, when y'all are like out there fucking putting your heart and soul out on the court and it shows, and some of y'all excel at it, yeah, we like seeing that because y'all could ball. The fact that you're attractive is kind of secondary, tertiary even. Like, first we want to know if you could ball. Second, we want to know if you're a cool person. Third, I guess she cute, I guess. You know what I'm saying? We're not in barbershops talking about how cute Angel Reese is. We talk about her game. And we go, yeah, she kind of fat though. And we're like, yeah, she is. And I mean, she did actually show that to the world. So this is not like me being like, oh my god, such a fucking, you're such a dog. Like, no, she literally did a bikini photo shoot. Like, you can go look it up. It's there. But the point that I'm getting at is, we're not watching Caitlin Clark because she's cute, right? We're watching Caitlin Clark because she can ball. And because we're watching her, do you know who else we're going to see? We're going to see Sabrina Ionescu, who I think challenged Steph Curry last All-Star game. Like, she lost, but he was feeling the heat on it, and he said so himself. Like, he was feeling the heat on it. And so now the possibility exists that like, It could be him and Caitlin Clark and Sabrina again next season at the All-Star game, throwing down on threes. Like, oh shit, look at that. It's almost as if when you excel at your game, people want to watch you do things. Do we root for her because she's cute too? Like, I think it's kind of a disservice to female basketball players, especially in this day and age, to be like, oh, you just like you like the black girl because she's good, but you only like the white girl because she's pretty. And dead that shit, okay? It's time we deaded that shit, because she got a big old sponsorship from Nike for a signature shoe, right? And I hope that then opens the doors for other women to get big sponsorships like that. But you can't just expect it because you're out there, you know what I'm saying? And I think where a lot of this jealousy and a lot of this hate comes from is because her coming in is a big deal. Now it puts it puts the entire league on this giant fucking screen. Now it puts you under the lens of the world, and some of y'all are gonna be caught lacking. Like, some of y'all are gonna be found wanting, and I think that might be the issue. You know, there's always been flack coming from the WNBA towards the NBA over things like who gets paid more. And people have made the argument time and time again that, like, okay, but like, you have to understand how revenue splits work. You have to understand like how profitability works. The NBA made $10.6 billion last year, up $600 million from the year before. Like, those are probably simplified numbers, but that's it. Like, the Golden State Warriors in one season, I don't remember which season it is, made almost $600 million as a team. Like, one franchise made more than an entire league. Now multiply that by all the teams that are in the league. Like, the NBA is a larger league. They have more eyes because, among other things, they've got some superstar players. There's big names. So because you have all these big names that are making noise, sponsors want to latch onto that. And so my hope is that Caitlyn doesn't dim her light and just continues to shine and excel and pushes back against everything in the best way possible by dropping 50 points on people. Just do that. Every time somebody follows you, you don't get a call, it's all good. Don't worry. I'm just going to drop a quick 20. And every single time I come down, I'm going to shoot one in your face. I'm going to piss you off. So, because that's how the men play, right? That's how the men play. And like, no, men and women do play a different game of basketball. But like, dudes was petty. Reggie Miller is a prime example of this. Reggie Miller is a petty ass player. But like, my point is, one player brings this many eyes, okay? Which then means all these eyes are going to see everybody else. So just let her be. It's not her fault that she's good at basketball. I promise you, we're not watching because she's cute. We're watching because of how good she is. And we want to see how good the rest of you are. She, as well as all the other women that came into the league for the first time, at any juncture in the WNBA, but especially now, has the ability to turn your fortunes around. All these people and all the opinions that are trying to belittle her by reducing her to her race and her attractiveness is doing a disservice to her skill as a basketball player. She's not the only one that's skilled. We know that. But you know what else we know? This has happened to everybody who's coming with hype. And the ones that truly end up being great are the ones that are able to weather that storm and come back stronger and more resilient, right? People are able to bounce back from that. So my hope is that she takes all this negativity and just uses it as motivation, but like blocks it out and just works on her game and gets better. You know what I'm saying? I hope she has a great season. And not just her, but like her entire rookie class. Yes, she's the big name, but I want all of them to to have a good season, right? And if she happens to be the spotlight that gives everybody else shine, so be it. So the fuck be it. See how she does. And like the fucked up part about it is like the NBA players are giving her props, right? And for like the first time ever, men are actually paying attention to the WNBA, which is something they've been asking for ages. And now they're mad about it. Like, what the fuck, man?